part of you are part of me, and we are part of everything woven together. This web like we did. I will give you everything you give to everyone, and all we give to one another, so that all of us might live. The circle ends where it begins and starts again just where it ends. No seam, no separation, and no finish line to pass. There is no need for hurry and no use for fear and worry, for our lives roll on forever, but only this one moment lasts. Center of the center you are in, with everything you know and everything you try to understand. I will love you always and forever, as you love the one who's everything and nothing you once dreamed of, hand in hand. The circle ends where it begins and starts again just where it ends. No seam, no separation, and no finish line to pass. There is no need for hurry and no use for fear and worry, for our lives roll on forever, but only this one moment lasts. Stand up for everything that you believe is true, and everything you try to help me see. For I am part of you, are part of me, and part of everything that never will be changed, as well as changing you and me. The circle ends where it begins and starts again just where it ends. No seam, no separation, and no finish line to pass. There is no need for hurry and no use for fear and worry, for our lives roll on forever, but only this one moment lasts. Our lives roll on forever, but only this one moment lasts.
Good morning, y'all. I'm the RevAmy Carol Webb. My pronouns are she, her, and they, and I serve this beloved community as its minister. Welcome to our love streamed service of River of Grass Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Davie, Florida, where our county is under shelter-in-place orders. So we meet here via the wonders of technology. Some might call this a virtual service, but we here know only the medium is virtual. The feelings, the music, the worship, the bonds of community we feel, even through our screens, is one of the realest things we can know in this time of great uncertainty and change. How deeply, deeply good it is to see all your faces. In this congregation, our mission is to nurture our spirits, love intentionally, and create a just and healthy planet in our enduring search for truth, meaning, and faith. What we share here is not an unchanging dogma, but an affirmation that we are called to be agents of love and justice, to build a world where we are called to be who we are, and where everyone is cherished exactly as they are. We believe to the depths of our souls that this mission before us is not changed. In this time, the world seems to have tilted on its axis, and nothing feels really normal. We believe that even while we maintain physical distance, we still sustain our spiritual connections by whatever means available. So however you made your way among us this morning from the reaches of the world over, we welcome you. If you come with a hungry heart, we hope to help nourish you. If you come with a hopeful heart, know that we too hold great hope. If you come with a hurting heart, we hope to comfort you. If you come with a joyful heart, we rejoice with you. If you come with a searching heart, we join you in your search. Whomever you are, however you are, we welcome you as you are, where you are, and promise never to just leave you there. Would you take a breath with me now? And another. Let us take in the words of my colleague, the Reverend Gretchen Haley. Gretchen serves our Foothills Unitarian congregation in Fort Collins, Colorado, where they too are on strict physical distancing protocols. She wrote this for all of us this week. There is enough space between us to hold all that you are carrying, all you've been waking, wondering, worrying, or wearing out with confusion or attempts to control, trying to find some sense of normal. All of your irritability, your curiosity, your fragile sobriety, your numb disbelief, your loneliness, your exhaustion, your daily question, is this allergies or is this the virus? And your joy, yes, joy, we can hold that too. We can hold all of it here for this time and bless it here where we call each other just as we are, beloved. Here in this far apart space that is also close in. So much remains uncertain with each passing breath. The ground is shifting. All we can say for sure is that we are caught in this tangled blessing of life, of grief and gratitude together. Like always, except more. With all the forces of spring and the spinning of earth, we are turning and becoming and beginning again and beginning again, offering ourselves like the crocus flower breaking through with a wild beauty, ready for whatever comes next. Come, let us be together. You will see the text for our first hymn passing on the screen. Please sing along wherever you are.
our chalice lighting is by Kimberly and Tomchak Carlson, and it's called We Are a People of Beauty. Recognizing the beauty around us and within us, in voice and spirit, we gather to light our chalice. May we savor the beauty of our abundance and diversity, always cherishing one another and our earth. May we remember to inhale the lushness in life, knowing that we are a people of beauty.
In the light of love, let us renew our covenant as we say together, love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
El amor es el espíritu de esta congregación y el servicio su ley principal. Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad a través del amor y ayudarnos mutuamente.
Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, to be in the valley of love and delight, when true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right. Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, we'll be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right.
Hi, I'm so glad to see you this morning. I was just trying to get some sit-ups in during worship. It always feels good to get a little exercise after a restful night's sleep. And I'm all ready with my healthy breakfast. First, I'd like to tell you a story about one of our Universalist sheroes, Harriet Kezia Hunt. Harriet lived in Boston in the 1800s. When she was a young woman, her sister Sarah was very sick. Harriet, as you can imagine, was beginning to feel rather desperate because the doctors that she was seeing did nothing to help. In fact, the treatment seemed to make Sarah worse instead of better. You see, this was more than 100 years ago, before any of your great-grandparents were even born. No one knew about germs the way we do today or why people get sick. Most doctors believed you had to force sickness out of a person. They would give sick people medicines made with turpentine, which is something that takes paint off of things, and mercury, which we now know makes people's brains very sick. And when the medicines made people vomit or drool, the doctors thought the medicines were working and making the sickness come out of their bodies. Actually, these were signs that the medicines were poison. Some doctors would even cut their patients on purpose because they thought if blood came out of a sick person, it would also bring the sickness out. Doctors thought this helped patients, but actually made their bodies weaker and less able to fight their illness. For 1 year, Harriet's sister Sarah suffered through these sorts of treatments, but it was time to try something new. So Sarah went to see a new kind of doctor, Dr. Mott, who treated Sarah in an entirely new way. He explained that she should get plenty of rest, eat healthy food, wash well, and exercise every day. Does that sound like something you've heard before? I bet your parents tell you to get plenty of rest, eat healthy foods, wash, and exercise every day. Finally, Sarah began to improve, and after some time, she was cured. Harriet was very relieved that her sister was better, but she saw other people suffering from the same sorts of treatments that Sarah had experienced. She knew someone had to do something to change things. She decided to take action and become a doctor. She tried to go to medical school, but the students there were all men and they protested and refused to go to school if she was there. So instead, Harriet studied medicine with Dr. Mott's wife, Elizabeth, and her sister joined them too. Soon, Harriet was treating patients. She taught women how to stay healthy by the same ways that had helped Sarah get better. Proper exercise, eating healthy food, keeping clean, and getting enough sleep. Harriet became the first woman to practice medicine in the United States, and she was very successful, even though she did not have a medical degree or medical license. Years later, another woman, Elizabeth Blackwell, a Unitarian Shiro, was successful in getting into a medical school and graduating with a degree in medicine. Harriet Kezia Hunt led the way for Elizabeth Blackwell to be successful. And as Unitarian Universalists, we can be proud of these brave women. We're grateful for them, as we are grateful to all the medical professionals who are working hard today to keep us all healthy. I wonder if we could show them how grateful we are. I wonder if they would appreciate cards, letters, and pictures from you at home. I sent a coloring sheet to your parents for them to print and for you to complete. It begins with, I am thankful. You decide how to end it. Are you thankful for doctors and nurses? Are you thankful for grocery store workers or delivery people? Send me your finished pages and we'll post them on our Facebook page. Parents, it's also found in the chat box. I look forward to seeing you all in our faith development classes later today. And in the meantime, remember to get plenty of sleep, eat healthy food, exercise, and wash those hands. Harriet Kezia Hunt said so.
Each week at River of Grass, we learn more about those who came before us to lay the foundations of our good work in this world, and we discover those who carry on that work in our own time, those who are our heritage and our hope. This week we find our heritage in Dr. Sarah Josephine Baker. She was an American physician who made huge contributions to public health policies and practices, especially in the immigrant communities of New York City. That's where she went to work to lower the mortality rate in Hell's Kitchen, where as many as 4,500 people died every week in the early 1900s. She did this through starting a new idea in 1908, preventative medicine through hygiene. It struck me, Dr. Baker said, that healthy people don't die. The way to keep people from dying from disease was to keep them from falling ill. And where prevention begins, she taught, is hygiene. So yes, keep washing your hands. This is our heritage. Carrying on the Unitarian Universalist legacy of service in both the public and private spheres is the Unitarian Universalist Trauma Response Ministry, convened in the wake of 9/11 as an immediate response to critical needs in New York City, as well as the world at large. In short, the Unitarian Universalist Trauma Response Ministry goes where trouble is, physically and virtually, to organize support and provide myriad resources in the midst of trauma. To tap into these resources right now, you can like them on Facebook or visit their website with the link showing on our screen and in our Zoom chat right now. This is our hope. Our heritage, our hope.
our work.
In our community each week, we share pieces of our lives. This too takes a new form now in our new normal. So first, let's take a moment just to hold still in the midst of this frankly strange and frightening time. To notice things that have not changed. What are those for you? The love of your family, of your friends, the love of this congregation, the beauty right outside your door. In the flow of time and history right now, we're in the midst of a reset. We're in the midst of something having pushed the red button to reset our systems. And while we do this, we notice all of a sudden what's most real and most essential for us and what is not. Let's pause for a moment and think of these things deep within ourselves. With the world moving so fast, sometimes just to hold still for a moment is an act of resistance. Let's think about those things most real to us, our determination to keep going, keep believing, keep loving, keep hoping, keep looking for the goodness that surely remains in us as creatures and in our communities, both human and divine, and how all of it is connected to the interdependent web that we all belong to. I find it interesting that in all the dystopian novels that we have read throughout time, when the world crashes, there are these roving bands of bandits taking from good people. And instead, we are seeing the good people and the good in people coming forward, doing the right thing, caring for one another. Take a moment and dare to feel all of it. Here with people who love you exactly as you are and cherish you right now. If you'd like for us to lift up something that's on your mind or on your heart in this place together, our chat box is open. We will lift it up much as we would if we were in the room together. We write in a book at River of Grass. Now we write in our chat in order to share the things that we wish to bring into this community. It can be a joy, a concern, a gratitude. Kat says to everyone, happy to be here. Zena asked for prayers for her brother David recovering from a heart attack. Dana says, very grateful for all the work that went into this broadcast. Fabiola says, I hope to set and accomplish a meaningful goal while in quarantine. Fabiola comes to us from our congregation in Puerto Rico. Mandy says, grateful to Bruce, who is working on 3D printing face shields for my colleagues in the emergency rooms and ICUs. Chris says, missing everyone from Asheville. We miss you too, Chris. Karen Lee Wald. Oh, I look thinner? I'll take it. I am okay. Thank you very much. I am okay. AHT says, good luck to all the children headed back to online class in Broward County tomorrow. Ken Bresnahan, prayers for the safety of our doctors and nurses. Jenna Kane says, so thankful Brian is healing and so quickly. So grateful for his surgical team for doing such an amazing job in the operating room and his nursing staff in getting him home to us quickly. We're so grateful for that, Kane family and Jenna. Mallory says, a concern, feeling overwhelmed by the amount of need to effectuate the change our civilization and world so desperately need. Applied to me, there's only so much time and energy within one person like me. I feel that too. That's one of the reasons we come together, to know it's not up to just you. It's not up to just me. We can do it together. Scott and Carolyn, for the heartfelt music in River of Grass and all those in need, gratitude as well. Alexander Robb, that's my son in Switzerland. Ava says, happy we can see each other. We are so happy you're here. Maureen Sullivan, grateful to see you all. I missed you. Whoops, where's it go? It went so back. I missed you all so much. Much love. Sandy says, so thankful for this loving community. Our home will be celebrating Holden's 14th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Holden. Monica Dyer, I'm both excited and a bit nervous about starting my e-teaching tomorrow. Please pray for my success. London sends continued healing for her uncle and stepfather and strength and health for her aunt. Carol says, grateful you are sharing with us. This is from the UU of Putnam County. Hi, Carol. Elise, thank you for all the well wishes for David. He's healing well. Kat asks, please pray for Mary Jo's brother who just got back from heart surgery. Rob Giblin Davis, a friend of ours has tested positive. Please send healing thoughts. Scott and Carolyn send prayers to Italy, Spain, New York, and all the hot spots around the world. Nicole says, I'm grateful for my family and friends and the strong connections we share that carry us all through this time. I pray for the safety of all those most at risk right now. My mother is one of them, and I've been trying hard to protect her and maintain my anxiety at the same time. That's so hard. Aisa, wishing Pablo a happy 23rd birthday on Tuesday. Karen and Gary say, grateful for friends who helped us celebrate Gary's birthday online. Bev Kaufman, I'm overwhelmed by the needs of my house guest. She is in pain. Both doctors have canceled because of the virus, and I'm afraid to take her to the hospital because she's too weak to survive if she gets the virus. Bev, we're here. Let's talk. Let's talk about some possible solutions. Susan Moss, grateful this self-isolation has inspired me to get back into my walking routine 12 days in a row. Now you're bragging. 12 days in a row. Renato sending healing wishes to Pat Victor from Susie as he slowly recovers from COVID. And much love to you all. Also, I found out this morning, Angel Wall from Susie also is recovering from COVID. She seems to be on the upside. She's in the second week, but she asked for our prayers as well. Teresa Ellison, I'm thankful for my friends that we check on each other often. As William James wrote, we are like islands in the sea, separate on the surface, but connected in the deep. And now while keeping physical distance, but reaching ever stronger in our spiritual connections. Let us remember the suffering around us, among us, knowing that none of us ever truly, ever can be separate. We lift all these things, written and unwritten, spoken and unspoken, the things we carry in our hearts. We trust that our hearts are seen, and we ask that we become seers of hearts. We're mindful of the suffering around the world for all of those who are in fear, for those who are sick and healing, communities where this virus is reaching higher waves, including our own, and those where it is yet to come, may they learn from what is happening elsewhere and prepare. May we be our higher selves in this time of anxiety and uncertainty. May we breathe. May we remember kindness. May we remember that everyone is in this together and everyone also feels uncertain. May we listen to our love more than our fear, our hope more than our doubt, our determination more than our helplessness, our sense of connection with everything and everyone more than any hint that we might ever be alone. We are not. You are not. All these things we lift in the name of all that is holy. Amen and amen. Amin, aho, ashe. Namaste. Blessed be. And so it is. Oh, the plans we make. The things we think we will do. The plans we made for this year in River of Grass. The plans we each make for our own lives, for this year, for our families, for our children, our grandchildren, our work, our communities. We so often chuckle at the old axiom that if we want to make the divine laugh, all we need do is announce our plans. But in moments like this, that joke doesn't seem quite so funny. And yet it is also in moments like these that we learn how fragile the structures of our society and our institutions are. Last September, when we set our focus for River of Grass to wake our vision toward a forever home big enough for us, how could we know that 6 months later, we would not even be able to use that building? That's too small. Just 8 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, just 8 weeks ago, when we voted overwhelmingly to launch a visionary campaign to raise some serious money to fulfill that dream, to find that forever home big enough for us to, as we are now, and to grow, we could not know that our world would tilt and make us not only wait for that dream again, but also to wonder what even happens next. Never mind that we've set this weekend to launch both that capital campaign and our regular annual prosperity drive on the same day, today, March 29th, and we were going to have a cupcake palooza. Now, there are a lot of things that I am missing in this time of physical separation. And I want to tell you, I was really looking forward to that cupcake palooza. And I intend that we shall have cupcakes when we can join together again. So now we find that not only are the plans for this beloved community on indefinite hold, so are our own lives. And there's nothing that you want so much to do as those things you are told you can't. I mean, like grocery shopping. Now, in my household, I am not the one who grocery shops. I don't like it. My spouse, on the other hand, considers it her favorite sport. So guess what? Now that I am told I must self-sequester and I can't go to the grocery store, now I really want to go. It's always that way. Here at River of Grass, we talk about how we flow like rivers. We flow like the river we are. We move around the obstacles. We wear down the stone drop by drop that blocks our hearts. And like water through mountains, we forge a way with undying hope and fierce love, with unwavering faithfulness to our Unitarian Universalist principles, and steadfast willingness to do whatever it takes to fulfill the mission and the vision of this congregation, no matter what. And it is precisely that love-fueled determination that got us up and running entirely online in 2 weeks. Do you have any idea what you have accomplished here? In the name of this beloved community, to protect each other's and everyone else's lives, to keep ourselves and our families and our communities safe, while making ways to keep connected despite these odds, you did that. I saw some of you this morning just logging on and trying to learn Zoom so that you can be among us in this way. You are doing that. Because it's a human thing in the midst of crisis for us to learn what matters most to us, to suddenly realize what treasure we may have been taking for granted. And it's a river of grass thing to go the extra mile to make sure those treasures are known and cherished and kept safe from all harm. Now I want you to cast your memory way back to Sunday, March 1st. Way back, when we talked about the treasure we have found here at River of Grass. This haven for our bodies and our souls. This home for our precious, authentic, flawed, and fabulous selves. Now, you remember what we did in that service? We took some time out to write thank you notes. You remember when we did that? Way back 28 days ago. How little could we have known how much these thank you notes would mean to us now. Would you like to know some of what you said? Here's some other things you said. Dear River of Grass, forever, thank you for insight, wisdom, and love, for a world of union at last, heart to soul. Dear River of Grass, thank you for sanctuary, as well as reinforcement to keep fighting the good fight. Dear River of Grass, for being a safe and warm and welcoming place, for accepting me for who I am and helping me become who I want to be. Dear River of Grass, thank you for people who think like me and not. Dear River of Grass, thank you for helping me think outside the box. Dear River of Grass, I find answers here to questions I didn't know I had. Dear River of Grass, the soulful acceptance I feel here allows me to take steps towards flight, even when my wings feel clipped. Dear River of Grass, for friendship, service, love, music, helpfulness, inspiration. 3 different couples spoke of meeting the love of their lives among us. And one among you wrote just one word: relationships. And that's what is holding us together this very minute when we wonder what in the world, in this world, still holds. It is our relationships we will trust as we face the days ahead, as we ask ourselves when everything is changing, how do we sustain that which does not change? That is the need for a river of grass to remain as a beacon of liberal religion in our place and in our time, that all of these things that we wrote in these thank you notes might be maintained, might be fueled, might be fed. And thinking about what those notes might say another year from now that we've gone through this together. In the next couple of weeks, you're going to hear from some of the people among us that will help us sustain and cast our vision for the future. I want to show you their faces because we had a beautiful meeting yesterday, and I want you to see them. Look at those faces. In the next couple of weeks, each of us will be hearing from one of these folks, the faithful and loving stewards of our annual prosperity drive. We're going to be putting together a financial plan for the next year in the face of deep uncertainty, finding out what matters to us and what we can still know. We are still casting a vision for our future. We are still determined to live our mission in whatever ways we can find, the ones we've known and the ones that we are just learning to do. Even as the world shifts under our feet, we ask that you welcome these dear ones into your homes and into your lives. And not into your homes, we're not doing that. We have to keep remembering how things have changed. So pick up the phone. Share your voices. Tell each other how you are in every way. We hope that you will remember with us that whatever comes, we will be going through it together because we know the treasure we have found. I'd like to ask Scott to also bring us a message as the president of our congregation.
Good morning, everybody. So nice to see so many faces. It truly is a blessing. And what an amazing community we have. As Amy brought up, just the delight to see how quickly River Grass shifted from face-to-face to online. Now, it wasn't without hard work, but it felt seamless. We just are a flexible, nimble, and dedicated bunch. And to acknowledge our caring teams, we truly have a caring community. Our team is broadened, is working with covenant groups to reach everybody. So if there's anything at all needed, please reach out. And we also care about our staff, as witnessed by our board approving that all staff are paid through the end of the year. And our pledge drive launches today, as Amy brought up. So I'm hopeful our generous members and friends will continue to support this community as always. And if your financial position doesn't allow you to give, you are welcome here and you are loved as always. And I'm thankful for any and every pledge offered. All gifts are welcome and help our beloved community. Well, this virus may have taken away our mobility, but clearly not our connection and not our spirit. We will get through this together. Our beloved community is thriving, and I'm grateful to serve with you. Thank you.
We rejoice to tell you this morning that, as always, those you have entrusted to lead this beloved community are doing just that and leading the way into this unknown, holding firmly to what we do know, that when this time of trouble is over, River of Grass will still be here to nurture our spirits, to love intentionally, and to create a just and healthy planet in our enduring search for truth, meaning, and faith. To help assure this promise, a whole bunch of your leaders have already put in their pledges for next year, as have I. And they already add up to more than $144,000, more than halfway to our budget goal, and an increase of 11% over last year. We realize that not everybody can increase. And so those of us who can will, to help sustain this community, that we will be here for everyone, for all the different ways that we give, not just our money, but our hearts, our service, our intelligence, our intellect, our willing to learn. Those of you who know how to run tech, call. Those of you who know how to do these things that we're doing, call us. Let us make it richer. Let us make it richer for you. Oh, and those thank yous that we wrote, many of you said that River of Grass is a lifeline for you. I know it is for me, and never more than right now. This present crisis may keep us apart, but it is only proving to strengthen our heart. We have a message from our prosperity team's representative, Kathy Jens Rockow.
Hi, I'm Kathy Jens Rockow, co-chair of the annual Prosperity Drive with Rita Cherubini. Now, I want to tell you, I'm not a real big fan of poetry, and I really think that I'm not one of the members of the Easy Crier Club that was so prominent here at the river. But let me tell you, last Sunday, when I watched that service and I saw all your smiling faces, I cried. I was so happy to see you. And it's interesting to me because I just saw you, some of them, just a couple weeks ago. So it really touched me that you were all there. That's what our beloved community is. Connection and support. What a difficult time we are facing, particularly with all the uncertainty. I have a hard time with uncertainty. I'd like to know what's going to happen. But I look to our community for connection and support. And I can only think of abundance when I look at all those faces. The abundance of love that we have in this congregation. What love, what support, what connections. It's so great. Now, when we became aware of the necessity to shut down our building, the first consideration we had was not finances, but how can we connect? We need to connect with our people. Not the techie issues, not the money issues, the connection. So, as we balance it out, we need to be aware, though, that the river is going through similar challenges like you are. Just because the building is closed doesn't mean our expenses stop. And we have to look forward into next year and the effect of this that we'll have on what we do next year. It's not easy to project. I understand that. But we need your help. Please consider your pledge next year. Now, the pledge covers from July 1st this year to June 30th, 2021. So we're not talking about immediate, but we're looking at the future. And yes, I understand it's tough. But we, at the river, need to plan now what we're going to do. That's what we do to be financially responsible. We need your help. Can you increase your pledge? Think about it. Our leadership has given their pledges, and they're running about 10% increase. That's your leadership. We need everybody on the bandwagon with us. We've sent information about the drive to members and friends. Someone from the river will be calling you, one of our stewards, to talk to you and answer the questions that you may have. The heart of this congregation beats. It continues to beat strong. And we need to keep it beating. Think about your connections. Think about the support you get from your church. What brought you here? What kept you here? And you know that we are here for you. You know, I'm getting a little choked up about this. Maybe I really am one of those members of the easy criers. I love you all. Thank you.
We sustain and strengthen this beloved community and its mission in our world through the gifts of our time and skills, our love and laughter, and our money. Each Sunday, half of our undesignated offerings go to LifeNet for Families, which provides hot meals 365 days a year, as well as clothing and support here in Broward County. The other half supports the mission and ministry of River of Grass. This sharing practice is more crucial than ever in this tumultuous time, where we commit again to do our part to support the people most at risk in our community. So, since we can't pass our baskets as usual right now, how do we do that? We have centralized several ways to give on our River of Grass website at the link you see on the screen and in the chat. If you like using text to give, you can still do that. If you're accustomed to putting a regular amount in the basket, you can now do that digitally on our Donate webpage, either by using the Donate button or contacting our office to set up an automatic donation so you don't have to think about it until we gather again. You can take a moment to do that now as the music plays, or do it later, or if you need support to set that up, please contact our office and we'll help. Whatever method works best for you, please give generously and joyfully, that we may feed and fortify this congregation and its good work in the world that needs it now more than ever. We extinguish this chalice flame, but not the fire that burns within, nor the light that leads us on. There we are. How sweet it is to be together in whatever ways we can find and learn to keep connected, to relish the relationships that feed our spirits. As we draw this time to a close, we invite you to stay with us for our first virtual hospitality right here in Zoom, where we can linger a while with all these beautiful ones who are with us in our hearts and here right before our eyes. This morning, we're going to try something new too, where we will get to talk to one another in smaller groups. So we're going to try that out, see how that works for us. I did get a notice as we were on that we did hit our 100 screen limit. So we're grateful for all of you who came in, and know that next week we will go past that limit because we are going to have a bigger space. So watch for a new link to come to you so we can be in that bigger space next week together, and we won't hit that bumper, and you can invite your friends and family from all over the world. Those of you who are with us from far-flung places, stay with us. Let's talk a little bit. This is a chance to be together across time and space that we don't regularly have. I wish I could hand you a cupcake, but you'll have to get one for yourself from your own kitchen. Grab your coffee, come on back, and we'll spend some time together. Let us remember as we depart this time, when we find the world around us rattles with the unknown and this moment yet to come uncertain. Let us behold before us a vision of the world transformed and dare to know in the depths of our bones our part to make it so. Until we meet again, shine on. Stick around, y'all. We're going to talk.